this next question for you real quick. What do you think is some of the expectations of young women dating today? So expectations y'all looking for in men right now.
Oh, okay. So what are our expectations?
Yeah, as women in the game. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do both. We're gonna do the men first and then we're gonna do the women. So what do you think is some of the things that women, what are the expectations of women these days? Like what are they looking for to get out of these men?
Well, I feel like maybe what's personal to me might be different than what on the masses.
Facts.
I guess, and it also depends age groups, right? I feel like once you're in your 30s, you definitely, I think it's pretty expected that a man has his shit together.
Okay.
You don't really want to be dating someone who's in their 30s, living at their parents' house.
I respect.
Still, and if they are, you want to know why. There better be a good reason.
Hey. Okay. She said, I need to know, and if so, she said, I need to know why. You know what I'm saying? She said, can you run that by me one time? Can we all about that part real quick? Okay. And she said, we not just gonna speed by that like you didn't just say you were still at home at 30. Back that bus up, player. Okay, I feel you.
We need to know why. Also, at least for me, like somebody who has their shit together, got their own thing going, like I need to know that you can keep house. Like, can you keep your shit together? Like, nice. And do you need a woman to function, or can you function? Because I don't want to be wiping my man's ass. I ain't trying to be no one's mom. And I've done that time and time again, where I'm like, I got to the point where I said, the next person I date, if they don't live alone, or with even roommates, that they don't live on their own, I don't want them going from their mama to me. Like, I need them to gain some skills of how to take care of themselves and their surroundings
to me
before I get there. So, yeah.
Okay, so I tell you what, then as I shoot this over to Pop real quick.
Wow.
So Pop, was she saying that we have a lot of young men right now who are falling short? Now, as a man who been on your own since you was 18, raised me and my brothers to be on our own since we was youngsters, is she saying that these young men is falling short? Because I haven't had my own apartment since I was 18, so I don't understand being 30, living with your parents, and you don't either, because you left home at 17, 18 to go to college. So I just want to know, Pop, was she saying a lot of these young men is losers is what I'm asking you?
No, not necessarily
losers. Okay.
Not necessarily losers. But they haven't actually learned all the skills that they need, for them to actually be on their own.
Whose fault is that?
But we about to go there.
Yeah, I thought you would.
That's actually the reason why. Backdrop, real quick. My dad died when I was 9 years old. So now that leaves my mom and 4 boys. Here's what my mama said, and I'm the youngest of the family. My mama said, I'm going to make sure that you all know how to take care of yourself. Whether or not you have a woman or not, you will always know how to take care of yourself. So you're going to cook, you're going to clean, we know how to sew. So the skills that you basically need, my mama said, well, I'm going to make sure that you all have everything that you need. So if you don't have a woman around, you can totally be independent. You can take care of yourself. So those type of things, you don't need to have a woman to be able to do. Because case in point, because in my family, his family as well. In my family, all of my brothers do the majority of the cooking. It's not a woman thing, because that's why we was raised.
A man that cooks.
And then when you go to my second oldest son, you go to his house. When I go where that frequently, come on that 3-4 times every week now.
Mm-hmm.
He does the majority of the cooking in his house.
I do.
So, but that's my point. So, does it need a woman, as you were saying, to literally do anything? Know how to cook, know how to clean, know how to write a check, know how to pay the bills, the whole 9 yards. Don't need a woman for anything. So what you were saying is that some of these guys is still just laying at home with their folks and mama and or daddy and or both has not actually taught them what they really need.
Facts.
In order for them to be able to live on their own. That's what I hear you say.
Well,
And what she said, and that's what they actually need. So she's like, I don't want no guy that's living at home with his mama. He gonna come from his mama
and expect me to be his mom.
and he gonna come straight
Yeah,
to
yeah.
me.
Expect for me to be his
Because
mom.
no, if he gonna come hang out with me, well, can he cook? Can he clean?
Can he do something for himself?
Can he do something for himself?
Yeah.
And that's what she's saying. And so, but to your question, what it is the fact that somebody.
So y'all right.
Somebody needs to teach
Loser was a strong word. Y'all right.
Yeah, but somebody needs to teach it. That's my only point. Somebody has to teach it.
And so then the piggyback off something you said, right? I also believe in my heart that's part of the reason why my mama and them wanted me to come out here with you. You and I both know when I got here, I didn't know how to cook. I couldn't scramble eggs.
So you can.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't boil water. You know, I was struggling with everything. Remember the day I called you trying to cook the fried chicken?
That's right.
I said, Pop, why the fried chicken burning? He said, wait, did you just take the chicken and drop it in the grease? I said, yeah, Pop, and it just burning. He said, wait, you didn't put no flour on it or nothing? I said, man, Pop, I ain't know I was supposed to put no flour on the chicken, man.
I remember that.
He said, wait, man, you gonna burn your house down, man. No, but it ain't how you do it. So now I can cook like anything I want to cook. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But I appreciate him because he showed me how to do everything for myself.
Well, and that gives you a confidence.
It does.
You need to
You
be
do.
able to trust yourself.
No, you're right.
You
And
do.
you need
I
to
like
feel
the
like
trust
you
of
can
your- I
take
like
care of
that.
your
Right,
own. Yeah,
right.
because then if you're not having that confidence before you get in a relationship, then you're all insecure.
I agree.
Then things I do, you're worrying about too much about what I'm doing, and you don't feel good about what you're doing, and you know that you need me, not only, but also you're afraid of the guy who doesn't need me and that I might go to, like, end up leaving you for. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you need to have that confidence so it doesn't infect your relationship.
So you know I got another question since you said something. I felt like, boy, you just lead, man. This is awesome. So do you feel like for most guys the biggest threat to them is the guy that they know that you know don't need you? Meaning, is the guy that don't need you more attractive than any other man? Because for me, I feel that way about women. Like I don't think I know everything, but I think I know a little bit. I tend to think women dig you the most when she understands she can go. When she understands that you so confident in yourself as a man and you so worried about your business and what you do from day to day. And I do believe what you say, you know what I mean? Like the men who don't understand that don't get like, it's way more of an advantage to be me than it'll ever be to be you. I just think for men, I don't understand not want to do everything for yourself. You know, meaning like learning how to do your own laundry. You know, like when I moved here, I didn't know how to do my laundry. I didn't know how to separate the colors from the whites and all that. Pop showed me. You know, taught me how to get money legally. You know what I'm saying? Outside of what I was doing in them streets, you know, took me from a street nigga to a cat that got a good job, been to college, done major things and major upgrades compared to where I was when he got me. When he got me, I swear to God, I was going to be Nino Brown. Boy, was I wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like now I walk around, I'm a good man, you know what I'm saying? I do things differently, but I don't understand how dudes don't want to do everything for yourself before you meet a young lady. Like you should never feel like you need her to cook and clean. That should just be something that she come into your situation and do. That's cool, and it's a bonus. But she need to always know, in my opinion, I do not need you. Because if she feel like you need her, she gonna talk down to you. She gonna disrespect you. It's gonna be different. But when a woman understands that man is not gonna fall on his face if I'm not there, then she probably more likely to rock with you.
I think every person, male and female, it's always way more fulfilling to be chosen. I want you to choose me. I don't want you to need me.
Ooh.
Right? Like you choose to be with me every day.
Ooh.
And I choose to be with you every day. I don't need to be with you.
You did go kind of deep then, because
like
you know something. I'm gonna tell you.
That's kind of deep. I like that.
I actually struggle with that from time to time. And the reason I struggle with that, because as you said, you went deep, is that I believe, and me and him talk about this all the time. I don't really want nobody that need me, and the reason why is because if you need me, I'll never really know how you feel about me.
Come on, that's it right there. That's
Because you need me. You know what I'm saying?
Serving a certain dysfunction within that.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you really gonna love me because you need me, right? You know what I mean? But then again, as a man, you don't want to be with a woman who don't need you to a certain degree. I'm not saying need me in everything, but I want you to need me around like I want to need you around. But I agree with you though. It need to definitely be chosen and a want. That's why I say I struggle with it. You know what I mean? Because
okay, that's like a fine line, like
yeah,
healthy and unhealthy. And I think that again, when you're somebody who has shit together and can take care of yourself, when somebody comes in and they bring what they're bringing to the table, you don't take it for granted because
facts.
you see that where they're filling in, it's making your life easier in a way. Like, oh, you don't know how to clean your house, but your girl comes and now she's helping clean the house, and she might even do it better than you. So, yay, I get to benefit from that. And so it's like, first off, what they're doing is highly appreciated because you're not feeling entitled to anything or needy for anything. And so then I feel like as long as a person's showing you appreciation and how you're enhancing their life, you know, not filling in the gap, not filling in the potholes. There are no potholes. You're just enhancing. Then I think that feels maybe the right word isn't needed, but it is that you're enhancing her. So you're doing your job as a man, like you're elevating her. And
same as for that woman that's enhancing. I like that. I think that's right.
So I know what you mean. It does feel good even as a woman, a natural nurturer, like for a man. I think that's why we fall into that role so hard sometimes, is to cook and to clean for them and to massage them when they need to, whatever.
Yeah.
It feels good to take care of your partner.
And it does.
Feels good that they receive it so well.
It does.
But it's nice to know at the end of the day that it's just appreciated and it's not coming from this imbalanced, needy place and it's coming from this dysfunctional place. Because then you're, like you said, then they're not truly maybe loving you for you wholly.
Facts.
Loving what you can do for them, and that could be replaceable.
Facts. And you know, since you said that, here's the thing I think about when it's that needy thing, right? Well, they need you. The problem with if they need you is that the moment they don't need you, you more than likely gonna get your heart broke for men and women.
Absolutely. Totally.
For most people, the moment that these people get into a position where they don't need you, that man or woman probably finna break your heart. Because the person you thought you've been living with, that you thought you've been loving, is a whole nother human being than the one that's finna come out when they don't need you. That the one that you met 3 years ago that was coming out of his mother's, but now you done brushed him up to where you done dusted him off and he got a good job, done went back to school, got himself together. Now he gonna go to showing you who he really is. Now she gonna show you who they really is. That's why I say I don't really want to pick nobody that need me like that. Because if you need me like that, I don't really know what your intentions are. Exactly. You probably ain't real.
And as humans, we romanticize those things because, like we said, feels good in the moment for someone to feel like they need whatever it is you're providing. But in the long run, it's not solid. That's not where you want to create your bond. You want to create bonds in other ways. And you just got to be careful not to romanticize things like a dysfunction. Because it's a dysfunction. Like it's you're falling short.
Go ahead.
I got a question for all of us. I'm gonna start with you. As a woman, I gotta ask this question as we talk about this topic. At any point in time, have you ever been intimidated by a guy that truly didn't need you for nothing?
Like, did it bother you to a certain degree, kind
of? Yeah, I've been in that situation. I feel like interesting. So
and hold on, and how do you handle that?
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna tell you the whole thing.
Woo,
all right, here we go.
Come on, knock this thing out of the park.
Well, because I realized, so my man that I'm with now has definitely been the most secure man I've been with, and has his shit together, can take care of himself.
Shout out to him.
Yes, very, very
I like him, and I don't even
good
know him.
masculine.
Thank you. Right? We like him
I
and
like
don't
him, and
even
I
know
don't
him.
even know him.
That's what
I
I'm
like
talking
him.
about. Whoever you is, keep doing that work, my G.
So in ways, I have gone through those feelings of being like, oh, like, well, he really doesn't need me to do that, or he does that better than me, or something, you know, like take a situation.
Yeah.
And so maybe in that moment, I might have felt those feelings creep in of insecurity or being intimidated, or be like, what am I even bringing to the table here? Like, what am I offering if you don't need me for anything, type of thing. And what that started creeping in, and then I feel like I practiced some self-awareness and just observed that in myself, and then said, where is this coming from? Like, why? And it's like I really dug deep and started to realize that in my previous relationships, before him, all the relationships I've been in, that I've manifested some reoccurring threats, and that's been, I'll take care of you, stamp on my forehead, because we might not start that way, but we end up that way, where I'm just fucking handling everything, whether it's money, the house, the food, the plans, vacations, doesn't matter.
Right.
And so I started to ask myself,
How the hell does that happen?
what in me feel like is not only attracting that in others, but that same thing that's attracting that in others, that's also the same part of me that's feeling insecure right now with the current man that doesn't need me in that way. And I realized, for whatever reason, when I can do for people in a relationship, it makes me feel worthy, right? Makes me feel valid. Good. Makes me feel like, well, you're not going to want to get rid of me because I do A, B, and C for you. And I also do it really well, do it better than you. Like,
gotcha.
Really, and I get to this point where I'm dominating my relationships and how much I'm doing. Like, so then I wind up in this place where I'm doing everything right,
and you're not getting not a lot in return.
Like, well, I don't need you, motherfucker, because I'm doing everything. So two things to this: it makes me feel more valid as a person, better about myself. But on the flip side, I become resentful of them because now I'm doing everything. So the very thing I'm getting mad at them for is the very thing I need to feel like a valid fucking person. That's twisted. So I had to see that in myself, that no, I am worthy and valid enough to be in a relationship to just show up and to just be me, and whatever it is that I do bring to the table, my personal qualities and my character and stuff like that. And so I had to realize with my current man now, he might not need me in a needy way, me in this, and I don't have to be intimidated by that. I can just be glad that he's choosing me, like, full circle. Does that make sense? It does. I felt that feeling, but I nipped it in the butt, and then dug deep just to say, where is it coming from? What part of me is kind of like twisted here to where that's generating those emotions in me, because it's not healthy. And once I identified that, it was
I like that. I like that. Because, and I think a lot of us need to actually, I love what you just said, because I think in a lot of times we need to come full circle because of what you just stated. Because you really, honestly, you really want to be in a position where somebody don't need you. That's literally what you really want to be.
Because if they don't need you, I think you got a better chance of finding out who they really are than if a person needs you.
But not only that, but now once you said a minute ago, so you know that you're not there because somebody actually needs you. You're there because they want you. So now what happens is there's a different set of things that you actually bring to the table that you might not even know that you even had.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Because that's what they're really attracted to. Because they literally don't need you to help them to do anything. But there's something about you that they truly love.
Facts.
And whatever that thing is, that's what they truly like about you. And that's why they truly want you around, is because that's the thing, and that's the thing that I need in my life. See, believe it or not, then it actually becomes a need, even though they don't tell you that. No, I'm being real. Even though they don't tell you that, it becomes a need, because in the back of their mind, like, see, I I need that in my life now. I might not say that to them, but I need that because of what they have to offer, what they bring to the table. And it doesn't have anything to do with money, cooking, cleaning, the end of that. It has
Facts.
more to do with who that person is as a person. That's what I really want, and that's what I'm really attracted to.
Yeah.
Is who that person really is as a person. Because guess what? What they bring to the table, what I bring to the table, we take this and bring this to the table. They don't need me. I don't need them. But there's something about them that I truly enjoy. And that's what I'm really attracted to. And that's what I really want to be around. And that's what I want to keep in my life. Because doing things, I got that covered. I don't need you for that. But that thing that I don't have that's about you, that's what I need in my life.
I'm gonna say this. That's how I got to as long as I've gotten this game.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, Pop, you know my business, you know what I'm saying, but she finna learn it. I got 2 decades with the same woman.
Absolutely.
Shout out to my wife, by the way.
Absolutely.
Our oldest finna be 19. Shout out to my baby, she graduated this year. Shout out to Tate, he graduated this year too. I used to have this saying when I first met her, and she hated it, and I used to always say, I won't ever fall off by no bitch. She ain't that special. And when I said it, I don't mean it like I'm trying to be disrespectful to women.
Absolutely.
What I'm trying to say is that I can't afford to accomplish anything as a man in this life if you are my main priority and my main goal. Because whether you here or not, I got to wake up and I got to survive. I got to work. I got to eat. I got to have cars. I got to have money. I got to have things. She hated it when we first got together. Then we had our oldest. And the moment that we had her, she said, okay, I get what you were saying now. I said, you feel what I'm saying? I said, because even now, she's our main goal. Ain't neither one of us no longer. We not that special. No. That person that we done brought into this world is now that special. Absolutely. So it took a minute, but once she understood what I was saying, she'll repeat the line with me now. Yeah. We on the same page. She'll tell a woman the same thing. Don't ever fall out by no dick. He ain't that special. No. Right. You know, grown people have to understand. Yes. Oh man, my baby know what it is. She and I with her dad every day. You know what I mean? Like I'm a different cat. I ain't from Salt Lake. You know what I'm saying? I'm from the projects. You know what I mean? So I tell my daughter what it is with men. You know what I mean? And shout out to my baby. She been with the same dude now like 2+ years. Yeah. Shout out to my daughter. I'm gonna raise my baby right. You ain't never gonna catch her on Instagram, TikTok twerking. You ain't never gonna catch her half naked or none of that. But then again, I tell people all of that also happens because she come from a 2-parent household. She ain't never seen her mother out here like that, so she ain't gonna be out here like that.
She ain't only fan.
Ain't never gonna be. Come on now. Come on now. What? Make me go to jail? Look, you had to bail me out. What? You had to come get me. Pop, you had to come get me. You know me, I tell her, man, I got 2 jobs. Keep my daughters off the pole and keep my sons out of prison. And just like you did for us, I'm going to do both. I didn't mean it that way, God. She said I like the pole. Hey, you know what I meant, though, you know? Yeah, you know what I meant. You know what I'm saying? Not meaning it, you know, disrespectful toward the occupation. Just saying, you know.
Something we can't say around her.
Yeah, I mean, you know, well, she took it well.
Because she gonna take it and be like,
No, I totally get it.
She handled that well.
Just like the magnifying glass music. I'm just saying. That's what I'm talking about. That was just an example.
She did take that magnifying glass and run with it though. Like a baton in a relay race. She ran with that motherfucker. I just think like being needed, I think is probably and I know you have a lot of these dudes on these podcasts that claim they like red pill and all that other shit. I ain't red pill, blue pill, black pill, man. I'm people pill. I mean, right now for me, we failing in marriage. We failing with our kids. Our birth rate is down. Our marriage rate is down. We becoming bigger pieces of shit. And I just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't vibing with it. And I understand when some dudes say, you know, you want to feel needed. I just feel like you want to feel needed as a man and a woman in a relationship in the right ways, not the wrong ways.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is that, like, at this point in time in my life, it don't really function without that woman.
Absolutely.
But that ain't how we started. That's just how we got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like people got to understand, don't ever start being needed. Because if you start being needed, y'all probably not going to work.
Well, yeah, like if you guys broke up or split up, it's not like you would all of a sudden be flat on your face.
No, I'm going to be fine and she going to be fine. Yeah. We both going to be fine.
You want to do that.
Yeah, facts.
But you can't.
Facts.
And there are some people that leave people and you're like, oh, fuck, he needed her. Like, now he's living in his parents' basement. Like,
Right.
in the
Yeah.
dark,
Me and her ain't never
wait,
going to be there.
Like,
Yeah, we ain't
can't
never
pay
gonna
his
be there.
bills. Like, yeah, that's not where you're going to be because you weren't there before.
Facts.
It's fine to be enhanced by somebody else and to also create a partnership and a cohesive life where you guys have a partnership. You do your portion, she does hers,
Facts.
and you have this system that works together and the wheel spins. But, you know, and it's okay to be in that place. That's what we want in partnership, right?
We do.
We just have to check ourselves and make sure we don't need to be needed and we're not operating from a dysfunctional place.
Well, I guess you know as our time running a little low before you got to go. I guess I'm gonna say, do you think we also struggling to check ourselves in today's world? Because I do, and I mean on every topic,
Yes.
whether that's dating, whether that's business, whether that's family relationships, friendships. Checking ourselves, for me, the way I'm viewing the world, it seems to be kind of tough for people. And where we came from, you know, before you had social media and all this,
Right.
checking yourself is what you had to do in order to even be an option for people to deal with. Whether that's a family member, a friend, a co-worker, or anything. If you couldn't check yourself, where could you get? So do you think we struggling with that as we wrap this up? Do you think that's something we struggling with? Like people understanding you got to check your own shit. You can't keep trying to point the finger at them and you ain't doing no pointing at you.
Definitely. Well, because it's high maintenance. Like, I feel like I'm a pretty aware person myself about, and I'm like checking in constantly.
Right.
And then I miss sometimes where you're like, oh, well, I acted like a fool then. I should have checked myself before I wrecked myself.
Facts. Great song.
So, I mean, it's just a practice, right? It's just like the human condition to misbehave and fucking be doing shit emotionally charged for some reason, you know? So, it's a full-time job to check yourself.
It is.
And some people are aware of that, and a lot of people aren't.
There we go. I like how you said that.
So,
a lot of people
find
aren't.
People you get. If you're someone who does check yourself a lot, you find other people that do too because you get along. It's really hard to get along with other people who are not willing to do the self work.
Facts. And I think checking yourself, you honestly become more successful in life. I think checking yourself stops you from becoming a felon, stops you from making bad decisions, end up doing dumb shit, especially as far as men go. If you can check yourself, it'll be the reason that, like, see me, I got all my kids with the same woman. I don't got no baby mama. You know what I'm saying? But checking myself is how I got there. I never wanted that for me.
Correct.
So we wasn't just going to be out here willy-nilly running around without no raincoat. That ain't what we was going to be doing. You know what I mean? So the checking yourself, I believe people got to understand, it'll make you more successful. It'll take you places in your career, your relationships, your friendships, your family relationships. The problem lies is what you said is we got too many people who don't want to check themselves. And then they're going to get mad when you do it.
Right.
They just want to stay, in a lot of cases, they just want to stay exactly how they are. And keep literally doing the same old jacked up stuff, and it's supposed to be okay.
And no one wants to admit that they're wrong. I don't know why.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It took me a while, just in case you wonder. It took me a while to get to the point.
It did.
You know, and I'm gonna
Lord
be real.
knows it did.
And I'm gonna be real when I say this, because we're on this podcast. I'm gonna be real when I say this. It took my kids in a lot of different circumstances in order for me to get to a point to realize that I was wrong in a lot of different things.
Shout out to my daddy for realizing
that's what I'm saying. Exactly. So, and that's how a lot of times that I realized that I was actually wrong. Because from my point of view, everything looked all red roses.
You always right.
You know, right? Until someone else says, well, hold on. You missed this and or that. And you're like, oh, yeah, I could have done that differently, couldn't I? So,
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like, you know, so I think it's great. You know,
it's
when you spend the
refreshing.
time when you just check yourself, you look, okay, now I need to do a self-examination. I need to see what I'm okay, what am I
Facts.
doing? You know, what am I doing? What am I doing wrong? What can I do better? But a lot of people, what I realized is that a lot of people, they literally just like to this is just me. This is who I am. I'm gonna stay there, not grow.
Yeah.
And then as you just said,
that not grow.
so now I'm here.
Yeah.
I want to be here, but I'm here.
And you ain't getting there without no change.
But I can't get there because I haven't done anything different.
Nope.
As you just said a minute ago. Where did you meet your man?
At the grocery store.
Where did you say you meet?
where?
At the freaking grocery store. That's my whole entire point. So now you go and you know me and the guy at the doggone grocery store.
And it's probably been your best one so far.
Exactly. You know, and I tell people.
See?
I tell people a lot of times. I'm like, okay. I said, so here's the problem. She mentioned the grocery store. I said, sometimes, relationship wise, you shopping at the wrong store.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
The problem
Yes,
is that, and I always try to tell people, you shopping at the wrong store, and all I'm really saying is that you've got to do some things and go some other places that you don't accustomed to go to. And
Like you said,
watch
check
and see-
yourself. That's part of where checking yourself.
Exactly, that's my point. And then watch and see what actually happens when you do that. So now all of a sudden, you know, she went to the grocery store, she ran to a nice dude at the grocery store.
You know what, though? You always said this. It used to be on your voicemail all the time. And you used to always say it since I was 17. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results.
If
So
you do what you've always done,
you're going to get what you always gotten. That right there stick with me all the time. Like you said, that's why you got to check yourself. Because if you don't check yourself, them results going to stay the same because you don't check you.
And you're right, because if you don't check yourself, then you never ever grow.
You're never going to grow, and you're never going to mature
you
either.
You look around and 10 years down the road, and you still at the exact same point.
That you was.
I'm like, how did I get, am I still,
Because it's everybody's fault but yours.
And that's absolutely correct. You know, I mean, because.
And that's how you stay there for 10
One
years.
of the things I used to do all the time, is I used to make a phone call. I used to call different people on January 1st of every year. You used to call them January 1st of every year. You know what I asked him? Because I learned it from an older guy in the gym. He's like, look, so now what are you going to do differently this year
And you did last year.
opposed to what you did last year? I used to ask my partners in that all the time. Because if you're not going to do anything, then you need to understand that come December the 31st
It's going to be the same thing.
of this year, you're going to still be in the same place where you were
last year.
on December the 31st of the year before that. So self-examination. So now what are you going to do in order to what are you going to do differently this year?
That'll change
opposed
that.
to what you did last year? Because if you don't do anything, you're going to be in the same position. And I literally used to call people and ask them that. And that's one of the things that I always try to make sure that I actually do. Is that from you, I'm like, no, okay. Now I need to get rid of this. I need to change that. I need to get better at this. Because then when you do that, what I realize is that then you realize, okay, now that makes me a better person.
It does.
I'm not doing this for somebody else.
It's doing it for you.
I'm doing this so I can be a better person.
Facts.
Man, that's on top.
Also, I feel like applying that to relationships, if you are a single person hoping to find love,
Yeah.
a great place to start
Because we want to talk to them
with
people.
yourself is to make a list. Like I had a medium tell me to do this once. Make a list of all these qualities that you would like your future person to have.
Right.
Write them all down.
Just don't make that list too long, please. Men and women. You.
Try to keep it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Good qualities, like characteristics.
Yes.
Things like I need my person to be able to take care of themselves.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
these things, and go through that list and apply it to yourself. Do you do that? Do you do that?
Absolutely.
Do you do that?
Absolutely.
That? And until you
Absolutely.
can mark off everything on your list,
I actually like that.
if you can mark off everything on that list in yourself and truly be able to mark those up, that means you're vibrating at that.
That's
I
exactly.
respect
And then
that.
you'll attract
That's exactly
somebody
what it
who's
means.
also vibrating
I like that. I like the way you broke that down because you, like you said, that's holding yourself accountable. When you write that list, like you said, make sure you could check them same boxes.
And then what are you gonna check?
And if you can't, then you need to check yourself.
Check the same box.
There you go. Yeah. I actually like that.
So
I actually
finding
think you
someone
gave
is actually a lot more simpler than what we actually.
that is. That's actually a good way for us to end this episode
really
right
is
here.
a lot more simple
It is.
than what we actually realize.
We making it
Because
hard.
If we just do exactly, no, really.
Yeah, we making
If
it
we do
hard.
exactly what she just said, and then if I literally can check off all these boxes, and this is who I am, then guess what?
I can go and ask for that. On the date mark, I can go and ask for that.
Right, but here's what I'm gonna get.
And you'll find it easier.
I'm going. As you're correct. I'm going because that's what I'm attracted to,
Facts.
and that's exactly what I'm going to get.
That is. Great.
I like that.
I did too. I did too.
I'm going to make sure I tell some people that.
I'm trying to tell you, we're gonna steal that.
It's used.
You know, you tell everybody where to follow you one more time, man. We really appreciate you coming back. Actually, we hope to have you back, man. We appreciate you, man. We really do, man. Thank you.
We got some more for you.
Long. Yeah, I know, right? That's what I was saying. It went by fast when we started chopping it up, man.
It's true.
Hey, but we're gonna do us another one. You ain't gotta worry about it. We got us another episode in the future. As soon as you free, we back at it. You know what I'm saying? You tell them where to follow you at.
He's got a great little mind.
Hey, more than welcome.
No, that's real.
Hey, more than welcome.
I'll be real when I say that.
Yeah, more than welcome. And sit him down on the couch. Let's talk.
He comes sit down.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I'm trying to get people right. You know, and as we end this, I want to say this to all people listening. Don't be afraid to not be perfect, and don't be afraid to make mistakes.
Absolutely correct.
The only way for you to get better in certain situations is to make mistakes.
Absolutely.
So you learn. Stop telling yourself that you perfect and you looking for perfect, because none of that exists.
No.
We all are work of art, and we can work on every imperfection that we have. But being perfect is something that none of us can achieve on our own. And we need to understand that. What do you like to say on our movie? He said, ain't none of us never going to be perfect. But as a team,
there you go.
We perfect. And that's what I want young men and young women to understand today. You two separate might not be perfect. But together, that team can be perfect. And that's what we got to work on. Because we elevate. Shout them out where they can follow you again.
Okay, yes. On Instagram, you want to find my indie side. That's Indie SLC. And my real name is Asher. So that is my Exotic Yogini account. It's Asher Hewitt. So you can find me. Got lots of stuff for the ladies on there. I got some good shit coming this year, hopefully.
Okay, y'all heard her, lady. She said go follow. Y'all go check her out.
A whole workout system. I like that.
She said she got it now. Y'all go follow her. Go check her out. Y'all go support.
Like
we going to have her back again as a guest as soon as we can, man. It's going to be lit. Here we go. We just kept it real with you, the podcast.